Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in one of the most exciting parts about Arena, a non-standard format. Well, I say non-standard, it's still with the standard card pool. Great, awesome. However, we've actually managed to get Brawl, which is probably one of my most anticipated formats for Magic Arena. It's one of those things that I expected to be on the client from day one, honestly, because this format just seems built for Magic Arena. Essentially, it is 60 cards singleton with a commander, so we're going to be playing with Rienne. This event is up for a couple of days, I believe, maybe a full week, I'm not entirely sure. It costs 1,000 gold to get in, however, you can play for as much as you want from that point forward, and you get your access to a card style and the card itself of Mace of the Valiant, Fairy Formation, Taste of Death, Embereth, Skyblazer, and Thorn Mammoth. I would say that Thorn Mammoth, Mace of the Valiant, and Fairy Formation are actually pretty playable in Brawl, so it's definitely worth going for at least your first 2 wins, in my opinion. Probably play it until the 5th. Most of these probably won't see too much play outside of Brawl, though. I may try like a Fairy Formation deck, Fairy Tribal, or some weird stuff like that, or a Mace of the Valiant deck in Constructed, but I'm not entirely sure on that one, but yeah, if you're into the Brawl kind of stuff, then these are definitely cards that you do want to pick up. It's just a free one of, and as I mentioned, it is a singleton format, which means you only actually need to craft one of each card to do add it to your deck, essentially. So I've been playing a little bit of Brawl. It's been fun. I've only seen one Oko so far, and I destroyed him with this deck. You might be thinking, well, how does Oko lose to a commander like Rienne? Because Rienne actually doesn't have a cast ability and doesn't really appreciate being turned into a 3/3 elk. Well, from my personal opinion, after playing against that Oko deck, I've only played against it once, so take my words as you will. I don't know. I don't think he's as powerful as people are worrying about. I'm certain that Field of the Dead probably still will be, because it's highly irritating and pretty much not included in most decks. But things like Rienne, mostly people were worried about cards like this not being able to be played, because obviously Oko just ticks up on your commander and your commander loses all of its text. Ours actually is a 5/4 for 5 with flying. Gives other multicolored creatures you control +1/+0. So we're essentially multicolored tribal for this Rienne deck. And whenever another multicolored creature you control dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So nothing really ever dies. It is the old what is dead may never die saying. So yeah, we're basically multicolored tribal. So there's a few cards that we can use to take advantage of that. I'm not going to go into every single card since this is singleton. I'll be here all day if that's the case. So some of the key cards, some of the inspiration cards I'll go through for sure. And if anything really sticks out, then obviously I'll be talking about that. And also, I should mention, since this is a new format, and one that I'm actually quite happy to see and would love to keep playing 24/7, Wizards, please come to your senses sooner rather than later. Since it's only going to be up on Wednesdays, I believe, after this event, I'm probably going to be producing a little bit more content than just a Wednesday video on Brawl. I'm going to try for like 2 Brawl videos a week, so let me know what you guys think of that. Obviously, we'll try it for a trial period regardless of what you guys think of that, just to see if you guys enjoy it. But yeah, as I was saying, we are a multicolored matters kind of deck. So we have the multicolored matters cards. We've got Hero Precinct 1, which actually gives us a 1/1 whenever we cast a multicolored spell. Glass of the Guild Pact gives multicolored creatures +1/+1. Tome of the Guild Pact is probably the build around-ish kind of card. A 5-mana artifact that says whenever you cast a multicolored spell, draw a card. And it's also a mana rock as well, which helps us fix our mana. And yeah, from there, we just kind of cantrip our way through. We've also got the Guardian Project, which kind of has the same similar situation. However, this one only triggers off of non-token creatures. Funnily enough, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control in your graveyard or in play, you draw a card. Singleton. Fun times. We got Ajani the Great-Hearted. We've got a little bit of a counter synergy here as well. So Ajani actually puts a counter on all of our creatures and planeswalkers with the -2, giving vigilance to all of our creatures is very good as well, because we're hopefully going to make some pretty big creatures, you know, like Gruul Spellbreaker giving this thing Vigilance as like a 4/4 or a 5/5 with Trample is pretty sweet. And yeah, we've if you saw my Rienne deck, or the subscriber deck that was sent to me, built around the Rienne deck, I did 2 versions of Rienne, then this deck will look quite familiar to you. It does actually translate quite well to Brawl as well, so I'm very interested in trying this one out. We've even got like Faber or Elder, which is going to be a lot of ramp. This is 2 mana to ramp us from 3 straight to essentially 6 if we have a land drop, but 5 if we don't. And then removal, we've even got multicolored removal. Thrash Threat allows us to deal with creatures and planeswalkers, as does Domri's Ambush here. Response, dealing 5 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. Not the best removal source in the world. However, having Resurgence attached to it is very useful as well. Give us an additional combat step, as well as First Strike and Vigilance to all of our creatures. So if we have enough on board to actually present lethal the turn after, we just cast Resurgence instead. Force our opponent into chump blocks, and then take our extra combat step to swing for lethal. Pretty fun stuff right there. And then we've also got like Fires of Invention, which is like, kind of like ramp and mana fixing at the same time. Most of you should be familiar with this card if you've been playing Standard. It's showing up quite a lot. You can only cast 2 spells per turn. However, you can cast any spell as long as you've got the lands equal to the mana cost. So, you know, we can go right up to playing Fires of Invention into another 4-drop, so we've basically added 4 mana on turn 4, which is pretty sweet. There is a bit of, I would say, probably drop-off as far as value is concerned the later in the game it gets with Fires of Invention, since we should probably have a lot of mana and drawing a lot of cards with Tome of the Guild pack, but that just gives us options, kind of like Escape to the Wilds, exiling 5 cards and allowing us to cast those over 2 turns, as well as casting additional lands to the Fires of Invention to buff that one up. But yeah, most of all, we're going to be a beatdown deck. We have a little bit of removal, Steelbane for artifacts and enchantments, Domri's Ambush and Fight Tactics, as I mentioned, Night of Autumn to get rid of artifacts and enchantments, Fight Tactics with Domri, and yeah, it's just going to be a hell of a lot of fun. We're going to be Hulk smashing our opponent, hopefully doing quite well. So far, so good on this one from the playtesting I've had with this deck. And yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, let me know down in the comments section below. But you can also tell me by hitting that like button and subscribing. All those analytics help me to decide what kind of content you guys want to see. So the more we get on this video, the better. So without further ado, let's get into some gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy this one, and I will see you all at the end of the video. Ta-ra. Okay, we're in, and we've got 2 green, but no other colours of mana. We do have a free mulligan we could take, but we might not need to since we have Once Upon a Time, which realistically we don't really even need to cast until the turn after next. So it is a bit of a risky one, but we can get away with casting or finding a red land or a white land. Obviously, we really want to find both, so a Boros land would be very nice. I'm going to take this hand, as risky as it seems, and we'll see how we can get along. Our opponent is playing Jarek the Desecrated, Sultai, and 2 for a 3/5 with Death Touch and Lifelink. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So basically, enter the battlefield matters for our opponent. I've actually built a Jarek deck myself, so expect a video on that one in the future. I expect Jarek to be quite popular, honestly. And there's our red land, so we actually managed to go for Once Upon a Time to go find white mana, which is really good, hopefully. Hopefully. Hey, alright, so we've got a tap land no matter which way we slice it, which is fine, I guess. I'm just going to go with the Temple of Triumph since we got additional information off of that one. And I think I'm going to go... do I go for the beatdown on the haste? I probably do. There is an argument to get the counters on Zertar Goblin, because we do have Proliferate with Huatley's Raptor, but I think the pressure early on is probably going to be just fine. Since we're going to be... I don't know when we're going to get to Rienne, because I was really hoping for a shock land or something like that, but, you know, didn't quite get there. But our mana's basically fixed now, and we basically took a 1-colour hand. Definitely going to put the land to the bottom. I don't really need it at all. We got Feyburrow Elder next turn, which leads into either Tolsimir or Rienne, depending on how we feel. And this is actually a 3/3 because of the Zertar Goblin producing red mana. So that's pretty nice as well. Fabled Passage is whatever colour mana we want it to be. This is going really well. I like this. I'm enjoying this. Opponent very slow on the play here. I'm just going to go with the Feyburrow Elder and play Rugged Highland since it's the tap land in our hand. Fabled Passage, now that we've got 4 lands, is untapped. And yeah, I'm just really liking where we're at. If we can play Rienne, then all of our creatures are protected from board wipes and things like that. Short of Cry of the Carnarium, I suppose. But we'll see. I mean, Cry of the Carnarium would kind of suck right now, honestly. But our opponent on Tapland City into Risen Reef. Okay. No land drop for them. So, do we want to go for the Tolsimir or do we want to go for the Rhian? That's a tough one, because I can push through, but I also don't need to. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Plains and play my commander here. So, +1/+0 to all of my creatures. Vigilance on the Feyburrow Elder makes it a 4/3, which is pretty sick. Love that stuff. And then we can just Tolsimir something next turn if we really want to. But yeah, as we said, if we see like a board wipe here, then we're going to get all of our creatures back short of Rienne. And Rienne's going to be castable in no time at all as well. Ass Trophy. Okay, well, to the command zone with you. I have no reanimation, so she needs to go back there. And absolutely going to take the action. We've got basically all the mana we could ever want. Got double white, double green. I don't think it really matters. There is a lot of red in our deck, but there's also a lot of green. But since we got the forest and the Fabled Passage, I think I'm just going to take a mountain here. Not sure if it entirely matters on that one. Ooh, Ravager Worm. That could keep our opponent potentially off of Jarek next turn, for whatever that's worth. I think we swing first, because I don't think they're going to block. We could do Tolsimir or Ravager Worm. I kind of like the idea of counter killer land, since this kills non-basics. If they have a tap land, they can't play Jarek. And let's see. Let's get rid of... Oh, bugger. Cancel. Oh, it needs an activate ability. My bad. I thought it was literally any literally any non-basic. Read your cards, kids. It's really important, reading and all that. I do suggest reading cards most of the time, if not all of the time. That's fine though. We'll be okay. So they can play Jarek. Cavalier of Thorns. Okay. And you get to see some interesting cards from them. They've changed the reveal card screen just slightly. So they got a breeding pool. And lots of planeswalkers and a Thief of Sanity going to the bin. Ooh. Hopefully that's going to be okay for us. I mean, none of them have really got ETBs. Guess our opponent's just playing Jarek value. Okay, so we play a land. I do want to get down Rienne. Can I do Rienne plus... swing in with Ravager Worm on top of the Rhythm of the Wild here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, can do because of the Feyburrow Elder. So let's play Rhythm of the Wild, which gives Riot to all of our creatures. And yeah, I think we're just going to go with the Rienne here. So Rienne says whenever a multicolored creature control dies, it comes back to our hand at the beginning of the next end step. I'm going to give this a counter, so it's a little bit out of range. Our opponent can get something back with the Cavalier, which is probably going to be something like Garruk, kill a creature, but I really don't care about Garruk, kill a creature. We're just too far ahead, and I need to pressure our opponent. Ooh, they're going to go to 3. Don't want anything out of their graveyard. Interesting. That's definitely interesting. We might be able to close out the game with a Tolsimir here, depending on how they play this turn, since we get to remove creatures and push through with haste. There's Wicked Wolf. Okay. If they fight the Faber or Elder, it's coming back with haste. And they're going to fight it with a food token, so they're going to tap down their Wicked Wolf as well. Oh, I was going to say, if they played Jarek first, they would actually get double trigger on Wicked Wolf. I have this in my deck as well. I actually ran Thief of Sanity with Jarek, stole my opponent's Wicked Wolf, which was really tilting, I imagine, for them. I think we've won the game. I think they need another 1-drop. Yeah, I stole my opponent's Wicked Wolf with my Jarek deck, and then double Wicked Wolf killed one of their creatures. I didn't even have food tokens, so I killed a 2/2, and then I killed a 3/3 with the Wicked Wolf. It was really beautiful. Something god tier. But yeah, Tolsimir comes in with haste, fights the Gilded Goose, that's 1 less blocker. Everything runs on through, and we've destroyed our first Jarek opponent. Wonderful. Awesome. What do we earn? I think this is probably one of the less interesting ones, right? Yeah, Taste of Death. So this one makes you sack 3 creatures for 3 food tokens. It's kind of good in what's his name? The dragon. The one from the precons, anyway. They did a good job with Taste of Death, I feel like. I don't know. Is it a bit expensive? Maybe. I'm not sure. But, yeah. It works very well in his... Corvold, that's his name. It'd come to me eventually. Works very well in his deck. I'm not sure if it works well in many other decks. Maybe in, like, a Rankle kind of deck, or a Liliana deck, maybe, where creature removal is definitely on the cards. I'm not sure. But, yeah, let's go for another game. Alright, we're in, and we got 2 tap lands, but a reasonably slow hand, so we don't really care too much about that. Our opponent is playing Vraska Golgari Queen, which is this one right here, the 4 loyalty planeswalker, sacks permanents to gain life and draw cards, kills basically with an abrupt decay, and then the -9 kills based off of any creature damage whatsoever. Our hand against that is going to be pretty good. I imagine we can do just fine against a Vraska. We can just haste right through and smash her so that she can't -3. Yeah, I'm happy with this hand. We've even got Tome of Legends, which allows us to draw some cards. And opponent leading off with the Pel Collector. So it's going to be kind of like a Golgari mid-range list, if I had to guess, from our opponent. We're just going to go with the Gruul Guildgate and pass the turn. So the question becomes, do we actually want to shock in for the Tome of Legends, or do we want to go for our 3-drops? Not entirely sure on that one. I mean, this one doesn't really change up until the point where you start actually using your commander, so we can really play Tome of Legends at any time that we need the card draw. It's basically 3 mana draw a card off the bat. That's interesting. So we got the Swiftblade Vindicator as a little bit of an early game start for combat damage. But if we go with the Vindicator, we can't go with the Spellbreaker or the Legionnaire. So I think I'm going to lead off with the Blossoming Sands here. Opt for shocking myself with a Temple Garden for just a better 3-drop play. I mean, ideally, the greed play, and this is like super greed and we're not going to do it. The absolute greed play is to wait until we got Guardian Project down so that all of our creatures start drawing us cards. Ooh, Command Tower. Really, really good. 3 colours of mana right there. So we don't need to shock ourselves. We can just run on through. And with a Barkhide Troll, do I actually want to go in on our opponent? I think maybe I want to go with the Sky Knight Legionnaire. That might encourage our opponent to minus their Vraska all attack, and then we can Spellbreaker haste to kill Vraska. I'm just trying to think what our opponent will end up doing, and that kind of seems like something they'd be interested in doing for sure. So, yeah, maybe we hold back for the Pelt Collector. We kind of get the same... Yeah, we kind of get the same results. We get to kill a Pelt Collector instead, or at least stop it from attacking. And then Vraska minuses all the same. We'll see if we can make that happen. So, opponent, we're on 4 mana. It's Commander casting time. Love an Assassin's Trophy, that'd be great. Ramp me. Ramp me now. Alright, so far, exactly as we anticipated. It's going to be a painful turn, but we are going to get rid of Vraska nonetheless. Ooh, Domri's Ambush. Very nice. So that can get rid of Bark-Eyed Troll if they tap out, or at least Pelt Collector. So let's haste a Gruul Spellbreaker, go tap land, and kill Vraska. So whenever a Planeswalker dies, they can either go back to the graveyard, where they belong, or they go back to the command zone and end up costing 2 additional mana to cast. So, as you can see there, it's not going to show up when I hover, but Vraska actually costs 6 mana to cast now, since she's died once. Eventually, they become uncastable, and you don't really have to concern yourself with them. Let's see what's happening here. Just swinging for 5, okay. Would love an opportunity to kill a Bark-Eyed Troll. I'm just not sure I'm going to get it. Spark Harvest for our opponent. Kills their creature to kill my creature. Okay. I see how it is. So, I do want to get down Tome of Legends before Rienne. So that's a consideration. I don't necessarily need to. Tome of Legends just kind of gets smashed by Vraska maybe next turn. But we do get to take the counter off of it to draw a card. And then if we don't like what we see, we just play Swiftblade Vindicator. Which is fine. We're taking a lot of damage here, for sure. But I think it's damage we can take. So, Tome of Legends, whenever a commander enters the battlefield or attacks, we get a counter, so we can start drawing off of combat steps, essentially. Or ETBs for Rienne. So when she comes down, even if she was to go and die from our opponent's removal spells, we would still get value from it, which is why Tome of Legends is pretty sick. Alright, so we're at 6 mana, but they're going for the Guardian Project and the Foulmire Knight to draw a card, so it's like they adventured in Standard. Opponent accidentally misclicks. Yeah, that's an oops from me. We got a Ravager Worm. Okay, so we can play a Plains, and we're left with 1 mana if we go for the Rienne. I kind of want to Domri's Ambush something soon. But with Vraska coming down and me not really caring about this Foulmire Knight, the thing is, like, if I put a counter on Swiftblade, Bark-Eyed Troll can't attack anymore. And if I have Rienne, minus Vraska on my Rienne is not really a problem either. If Rienne dies, we just need a land drop off the top, which we should be able to find easy enough. I think I'm going to play Rienne. You also get +1/+0 as well, thanks to Rienne's buff ability here, so the little bit of conversation I had before about power and toughness mattering is no longer the case. So we hit for 4. But yeah, now we have like double strike damage on the Bark-Eyed Troll, which is pretty cool. And we've paid for our Rienne, so if Vraska comes down, we don't really care. If Rienne gets killed by a removal spell, we've already paid for Rienne in Tome of Legends, and we increase the odds of finding a land as well, just to recast the next turn. So I'm liking where we're at. We even have a Domri's Ambush ready and waiting on this Beast Whisperer, so our opponent can't get extra value. And there's the lands. Ooh, lands plural. I'm not going to need many more, so I'm going to thin the deck with Fabled Passage. We haven't mulled or anything like that, so there's nothing at the bottom of the deck that we don't want to shuffle back in. Nearly everything in my hand is green, so it's a consideration to actually get another forest, but we do have one in hand. So I think second to that, everything else is red, so I'm just going to get more mountains. Just increase the odds that we get to play something. Let's see. 4 mana leaves us with 3 for the Guardian Project. Not really ideal for us at the moment. I'm going to go with a Domri's Ambush. Stick a counter on Swiftblade and attack the Beast Whisperer. Beast Whisperer draws cards whenever you cast creature spells. So opponent likely has some removal here. Awesome. So we get a land out of our deck. And because Rienne is in play, that card comes back to our hand at the beginning of the next end step, so we're in a really good spot there as well. I think I might just go for a Ravager Worm, fight Beast Whisperer, honestly. I could also do Oh, I could actually do Aurelia, and this way I actually get to use the Tome of Legends as well, since that actually might die to Vraska next turn. So unlike Commander, there's no command damage, so this is just pure 7 damage. And we get that, the Swiftblade Vindicator. Really nice, really nice. And we got a draw on the next turn as well. Yeah, Rienne giving +1/+0, making multicolored creatures effectively indestructible. And also draws us a card whenever she attacks. Cool. I love EDH. It's so cool. Alright, so they got a Plague Crafter, which is unfortunate. However, we have a sack outlet. We have Aurelia, who's coming back at the next end step. So we haven't really lost anything. Our opponent basically just played 3 mana, draw a card. Golgari Finebroker draws a card off Beast Whisperer and pulls back a card. Are they going for Plague Crafter again? They are. Alright, so all we're going to do is flood the board with creatures. Yeah, sure. Foul my net. Help yourself. Aurelia comes back. We get Arcane Signet, which is basically just a 1 mana ramp spell at this point. We should be able to afford that, I think. So we go Arcane Signet. We're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we could do... I kind of want to get 2 creatures down, so as much as I want to do Guardian Project Aurelia, I think I'm going to do Swiftblade Aurelia instead. So that if they have removal spell plus Plague Crafter, we're not in big trouble. So I could even do Ravager Worm, but I think there's value in actually like Rienne getting a plus here and Hulk smashing. Then again, killing Beast Whisperer is also an option for us. We could even haste this out. That is a tough one. Could kill a land with the Castle Lochthwain. Learned my lesson on Ravager Worm for that one. This is a 5/5 with Rienne out with haste. I like Aurelia, actually. It leaves me with mana open to Tome of Legends and draw a card. So let's put a plus on Rienne. 7 damage coming over. Get to draw a card. Opponent's at 5. Threatening lethal if they can't kill Rienne, which their Planeswalker can't do, Plague Crafter can't do. Crawl Harpooner can, though. Okay. I believe, yes, because it's going to go up to 4 power, thanks to Undergrowth. So they got Rienne. She is gone. She's going back to the command zone for us to cast again. And our opponent with 5 mana left over. I think we can still threaten lethal if we play our cards right. We go Rienne gives +1/+0, which is 3. 5 points on Aurelia if they can't kill her. And maybe we find some additional points as well. There's Reach. Okay, she does have Trample, but it's not going to kill our opponent now. They have dodged lethal. So they get to draw cards. They stacked their triggers a little bit wrong there. They should have drawn a card and then had the Arboreal Grazer trigger go. Okay, so say this opportunity to draw a card. We're going to get rid of Swiftblade Vindicator. Gilded Goose is not great. Obviously you want that in your opener. So let's get rid of Swiftblade Vindicator since it is producing the lethal threat. And Foul My Net getting in. I mean, they've got a board state here. It is certainly a board state. Is it a good one, though? Will it get them there? Can we win? Let's see. It might be the case that we want to go for Ravager Worm. I think we're a point short. If I could play Rienne and Ravager Worm in the same turn, we win, because we can fight the Arboreal Grazer, which means Aurelia can get in. It might still be the plan, honestly. I don't really want to shock myself for a Gilded Goose, but I could play Guardian Project and see if Ravager Worm can draw me an untapped land, an untapped green source. Let's go with, it's a 4/5. They're forced to block. So they block. Beast Whisperers. Yeah, okay, I can go in with haste. And fight a creature we don't control. I guess because they're both 4 points, I should just get rid of one of those. A nice utility creature. And we'll just go with a Selesnya Guildgate. Give Vigilance to Aurelia. And swing in with everything. This puts them to 1. They can only deal 7 damage to us by the looks of things. So yeah, we get a double block from them. No more reach, so Aurelia is ready to go for lethal next turn. We can Knight of Autumn gain life. We can put counters on our Knight of Autumn. We can do so much with that card. And our opponent has to answer this right now. We got Murderous Rider to go to 2. Risky. Okay. They do get a Rider down though, so it's lifelink. And an Arcane Signet. We're taking 4. Protection from green. Oh, that could actually be real bad for us. Since we're going down to a lower life total. Conclave Cavalier. Okay, so let's do Guardian Project. Maybe we draw a Bone Crusher Giant here. Tome of Legends get a counter. Mace of the Valiant. Okay. I'm not sure if we play that though. I think maybe we just go for like kill Guardian Project to stop their value. Knight of Autumn, Gilded Goose, something like that. I'm not really sure actually. Huh. So this only gives Vigilance and +1/+1 for each charge counter on it. So it's kind of an investment kind of card. Maybe it's Knight of Autumn kill this. They need to have an answer, so... yeah, I think having blockers killing their potential for additional card advantage might be the best plan. Opponent good gaming me. I'm not sure if they know that it's not actually necessarily over yet, unless it is. Not entirely sure, maybe. Let's thin the deck. Maybe that means that they've got no removal in hand and they're expecting that Rienne is just going to run over for lethal here. But they do have a Castle Lochthwain to draw an additional card. They obviously have their top deck. They even have Vraska tick up, kill one of their creatures. So it's by no means over. But that Blight Beetle is actually unblockable. Is this thing... can't put counters on them. Okay. I knew it had some sort of kind of interaction with pumping. Okay, so 4 points coming over. I think we just block Knight of Autumn here. Maybe leave it at that. Can't block the Blight Beetle, of course. Go to 3. What could kill me at 3? If they have the Giant that actually has Undergrowth draining, we're dead regardless. Yeah, I think we just block like that. Hope that's going to be good enough. Get back Knight of Autumn on our end step. Finality. Resetting the board. Nice. So our outs now are Rhythm of the Wild into double haste creature. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so we can do Mace. I kind of want to pump this Mace up as much as possible if I can help it. So do Mace. Cavalier. Put a counter, draw a card. Maybe Knight of Autumn put counters on? Or is it Feyburrow Elder? It's probably Feyburrow Elder. Leaves me with 3 mana if I... Yeah, I guess we go Knight of Autumn for life gain. Gain 4 life so I don't die. Ooh, Fires of Invention. Could be useful. It's not going to help us do too much right away. And then I could shock myself for Feyburrow Elder. Or I could draw a card. I guess I should shock for Feyburrow. Since this draws a card anyway. Boros Guildgate. Okay, I was hoping for playables to follow up with the Fires. How does Fires read as far as your commander is concerned? You can cast spells only during your turn and cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You can cast spells with converted mana costs less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana costs. So I believe that means I can actually cast my commander off of a Fires of Invention. Which is definitely a thing. Okay, they bring back Beast Whisperer for the card advantage. This is a great game, by the way. I am loving this. Gilded Goose draws a card. Yeah, food token in play. Honestly, this feels like it could go in either direction. Our opponent does have some big boys. But we might have some bigger ones. Since Conclave Cavalier as well, also... Ooh. Escape to the Wilds. Can that get me there? This leaves me with 4 mana. So this is basically a must-answer kind of threat board at this stage. Since my creatures are a lot smaller than theirs. I need something real good. Maybe it's an Escape to the Wilds. Let's hope for some really good cards here. Grumgully. Okay. Well, we can Response Resurgence a creature, so we've got 1 blocker out the way. This only gets rid of artifacts and enchantments, which our opponent's not really running any worthwhile. I guess we play... Grumgully. Got a Tolsimir. I like Tolsimir. Okay, Tolsimir fights Beast Whisperer. Oh yeah. 4/4. Well, actually, maybe it's fight Biogenic Ooze. Yeah, stop them from making more oozes. We don't get the creature, but we're trading 1 for 1 anyway. Glass of the Guild Pact. These are +1/+1 to all of our creatures. And Windscarred Crag gain a life. And even Rugged Highlands gain life. I'm liking this. I really wish I had a trample creature, but beggars can't be choosers and all that. I guess we need a bit of haste off the top. That'd win us the game. Potentially. Command the Dreadhorde. They put that in the trash. I guess they are on 4. That is true. That would be brutal, though, if they had some decent life. Okay, so we get an end-step Tome of Legends to draw a card if we don't die. That's pretty sick. Okay, kill Feyburrow, which I'm surprised by. I thought they would actually go maybe for a creature that's untapped. Our hard work does not pay off on the mace there. Beanstalk Giant. Fertile Footsteps side, so not creature version. That is a big boy. Big boy that basically has no text, though, after a while. Can't block 2-2 in the air. And the Great Henge. Okay, leaves them with 2 more mana. Plus a little bit of life gain, even if they don't want to use that mana. Let's see how they attack. Oh, bugger. I meant to tap my Tome of Legends there. My bad. My bad. Let's see. So we're going to lose these 3 cards here if we don't use them. I think I do want to get some value on Steelbane Hydra. We want to do this X3. Oh, X2, actually, because it enters with an additional counter thanks to Grum Gully. X2. We could even do it X1, honestly. That might be what we want to do. Just get rid of the Great Henge. I only need a blocker after all. X1. Yeah. Pay 3, get rid of the Great Henge. Let's go with a Johnny. 3, 4. I could actually do Sacred Foundry. Untapped. I'm running out of time here, so I'm panicking. Yeah, I did the math wrong on that one. A Johnny, draw a card. Rubble Belt Rioters. It's definitely a card. Counter on each creature. So all of our things are huge, massive. And we can force some blocks here. We can do this and this. If this dies, we get 2 3/3s back. This gets rid of 2 pretty big creatures potentially as well if they want to trade off. Tolsimir dies, then Tolsimir dies, you know. It is what it is. And yeah, I did shock myself there, which was unfortunate, but we do actually leave ourselves with Tome of Legends mana anyway, so it should be okay. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of the 5/6. So, some additional creatures, and we pass the turn. So, off of our Escape to the Wilds, we only lost a Resurgence, which would have been nice, don't get me wrong. But I'm not sure we really need it. I guess it's a bit late for Fire's Invention to actually be worthwhile, since we can cast our entire deck at this point. As much as we want. And now that we're drawing additional cards here, we really just don't want this card. Beanstalk Giant at 12/12. Chump blockable. For sure. And what, they got 4 mana left over? 4 mana left over. A Gilded Goose blocker in the air. Yeah, this might be Rienne time. Midnight Reaper, okay. So they're drawing cards when they cast creatures and drawing cards when they kill creatures. Value City. They've got 18 cards left to our 17. And they've had enough. Oh my god. That game was sick. Oh man. I love that. I'm sure somebody in the comments section is going to let me know that I miss Lethal. I don't care. I loved every second of that, and if missing Lethal led to that game being as awesome as it was, then I am all the happier for it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content like this in the future. As I mentioned, I'm probably going to do 2 Brawl videos a week, so if you do enjoy Brawl, expect some more content like this to come. This deck's sweet. It's actually undefeated at this point, so treat it as you will. I really like this deck. It's just got so much to do in every single turn. You're just drawing so many cards that you just have so many options, and it's It's just magic as Garfield intended. I absolutely love it. If you guys like this one, though, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. I'm also going to be streaming tonight. Hopefully this video goes up before I start streaming, but I imagine it probably won't be. I'm actually going to be doing a Brawl day, so stay tuned for that. I might end up putting the VODs up on the YouTube channel if it's pretty sweet. I'm going to be direct challenging all the viewers as well, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.